left.
Left side.
Okay, so our mission is to enhance quality of life for the community of Southern Maryland by aligning philanthropic interests with community needs through stewardship, collaboration, and charitable giving. So our vision is to make Southern Maryland the best place to live and give. So consider us a platform where donors and the community's needs meet. A brief history. The first community foundation started in 1914 by a banker in Ohio. First community foundation founded in Maryland was in 1969 by James Rouse. He was a developer in Howard County. And today there are over almost 750 community foundations around the world. Maryland is home to 14 community foundations serving 22 counties. And these statistics were as of 2014. In assets, they total over $870 million. So what is a community foundation? We are tax-exempt public charity. We're a 501c3. Donors can create named charitable funds under our umbrella. So they use our platform in lieu of creating their own private foundation. And when I say donors, I mean individuals, families, special groups, nonprofits. Anyone can use the community foundation to create an endowment to support either themselves, and that would be a nonprofit creating an endowment to support themselves, or if individuals want to create an endowment to create their legacy to support nonprofits in the community. Funds can be non-endowed and endowed, or endowed. The non-endowed dollars are just kept at our local checking accounts. And then, of course, the endowed, right now we use Merrill Lynch as our investment managers. There's no maximum amount to start a fund. The minimum amount to establish a fund is $5,000. Folks may start a seedling fund for as low as $100, and they have 3 years to meet the minimum. But they don't have to maintain the minimum. If you are a non-endowed fund, you don't have to maintain the $5,000 minimum. And then the purpose of the non-endowed fund is for like scholarships or for other things where money's coming in and out. Maybe someone's having a fundraiser, money's coming in, and then they're writing grant checks back out. So since inception, as you heard, we've granted over $700,000. So types of funds, people can create unrestricted. That's when someone they just want to, they don't really care. I mean, they want it to support like St. Mary's County, but they don't have specific areas that they want to focus on. So unrestricted, it's our community grant fund where our grants committee would create a competitive grant program. Field of interest is when someone wants to create, they want it to support the arts in St. Mary's County. So they can do that, and they can be a part of the grants committee. And again, it would be a competitive grant program. Designated, a donor maybe leaves a bequest in their will, or say they want to create a designated fund and have it designated to these nonprofits, and maybe it'll be an endowment. So the idea is their grant dollars are always connected to their name going back out to whatever designated nonprofits. Scholarships, kind of self-explanatory there. Donor advised fund, something that's probably most people are familiar with. Donor advised funds are in lieu of maybe setting up a private foundation. At the end of the year, we'll suggest to people, if your accountant is telling you, you should give away this certain amount of money, but you really don't know where, you can create what's called a donor advised fund in your name, and you get the immediate tax write-off from the community foundation, but you can take your time over the next months or years to give those grant dollars back out to the community. What makes up a fund? Cash, of course, appreciated stocks, real estate, and then also it's a good, as I mentioned, good alternative to creating private foundations. So there's also, if you have stocks and you are connected to maybe a smaller nonprofit who might not have the ability to accept the stocks, we could do that on behalf of that nonprofit and you. So your investment manager would talk to ours, and we would just cycle those stocks into cash right back to that nonprofit. Endow Maryland. So in 2015, this tax credit started, and it was renewed again for 2016. The idea is it's an incentive for folks to give to or start endowments at their local community foundation to support the community. It's a 25, so the minimum donation is $500 and the maximum is $30,000 to be eligible for this 25% state tax credit. And the idea, they have that window because they wanted to target it to everyday people who could benefit from this tax credit. So it's incentive for Marylanders to give back to their local community. So you have to be a resident of Maryland, and the dollars have to go to Maryland. So any qualified community foundation in Maryland, folks are eligible to give through. Uh-oh, wrong button. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You can still hit the left button.
Okay, so helping your clients realize their charitable goals. Thinking of establishing a private foundation but looking for alternatives. Folks can establish a donor advised fund or corporate advised fund or family advised fund. And so the idea of a donor advised fund is you're actively involved in the giving. But we handle the rest. So all the funds are assets of the community foundation. They become a part of our 990. Basically, we do the back office, the burdensome stuff. You guys, your job is to do the giving. High estate taxes. State plan identifies significant taxes going to the IRS, but wants to keep dollars local. So again, you can create a fund at the community foundation, or leave something to a fund at the community foundation, and you're also creating your personal legacy. And the nice thing about a community foundation is that if you create the endowment and you've passed on, and then let's say 30 years from now, the recipient organization is no longer in existence. So the board looks at where you wanted to give and will give to a like organization. So that's our responsibility at the community foundation, to always kind of make sure, and right now, any grants that go out to any of our nonprofits, I go out and do my due diligence on behalf of the fund and the community foundation, and make sure they're in good standing and they have an actual 501c3, and basically we approve any grant that goes out. Sale of business, closely held stock, owns high appreciated stock, and that's about to be acquired. So the same idea, establish a donor advised fund. Have appreciated stock, but many charities are too small to accept direct stock gifts. So again, the community foundation can help. So in other words, if there's a nonprofit out there, don't ever say no to any type of asset, because if you can't do it, then the community foundation can help. Just earned a large bonus, would like to make a donation, but no time to decide. And get the immediate tax deduction through the community foundation. So this is when Kathy Askey kind of came in, as far as I'm not the tax professional here, but the difference as far as a fund at the community foundation versus a private foundation. So the deduction is higher for a community foundation because we're a public charity. It can easily be established. Literally, our fund agreement's 3 pages. There's no minimum payout required. So right now we're at the end of the year. So our endowed funds will get to decide if they want to make the grant distribution or not. And if not, they'll just reinvest it. All the assets are part of our 990, so there's no tax reporting, no need for a board of directors, because we have an investment committee that vets our financial advisors, and then of course our board. And managing philanthropic dollars is our mission. So community foundations, we're local. The idea is we have, we pick professionals in different focus areas. We also are in touch with the needs of the community. We accept a wide variety of assets. We are constantly trying to stay in contact with professional advisors, estate planners, to keep them updated on how community foundation works. Awareness is kind of the, for me, for being, we have 1.5 me and another part-time person and all volunteers, so awareness is something that I've been trying to really get out there and get people to understand how a community foundation works. We build endowment funds. So the endowed funds are pooled. To our investment managers, it's one giant pool of money. So the endowment dollars could be, one person's 5,000, one person 100,000, but the idea is all pulled together, so they all get to take advantage and share the resources available for this one big pool of money.
But are they tracked separately?
Yes, yep,
They put
yep.
individual-
So then they get quarterly reports, and then, yes, yep. So I've noticed, since this was from November, we have 5 new funds since then. But these are some of our current funds right now. You'll see there's like 3 Cheney ones in a row right there. Frank Cheney was the co-founder of the Community Foundation. So he always says, had the Community Foundation been in existence 30 years ago when they started the Cheney Foundation, they would have never, started the Cheney Foundation, because of the burden of the board of directors and the reporting and all. So, and he's involved in this Community Foundation and the Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County, where he lives. And then, of course, this has changed too. We have a new chairperson, which is Ellen Flowers Fields. She's our new chairperson. And then I have a new donor services, Lisa is her name. I forgot, she just started yesterday. But we use the Greer Law Firm as our general counsel. And we contract out, even I am the only employee, but I do contract out a CPA. She handles all the bookkeeping and IRS reporting and any of the financial, and then we hire a website person. And then, of course, our investment management is done by Merrill Lynch. Any questions?